Harder Brunch presents Back to Adult Summer Camp.
Sponsored by Upland Brewing and Culinary Crossroads.
August 23rd through the 25th.
We have comedian headliners Kelly Collette and Dwight Simmons.
We got musical acts Draco, Sirius Black, Philosophy of Music, and Tuesday Atlas.
Activities like archery, canoeing, campfire, swimming, crafts. Don't forget to get your tickets at eventbrite.com.
Harder Brunch. Nope, we're not going to say that together, but it's Harder Brunch.
I'm eating brunch with my people though. The homie Dyke just cooked up a feast and we bout to eat it, bro. Fucked around and has to mix the lobster with the poutine. Daddy is rolling blue dream. Them boys got down a routine. It's Naptown culture. Cooking 7 courses. Had to pass the torch and now I'm grabbing second portion. So sit back, relax, grab a drink and a smoke. It's Harder Brunch on the way and get prepared for the jokes. Whoa.
Hi, and welcome to the Harder Brunch Podcast. I'm your host, Dyke Michaels. With me, as always, my co-host, Thaddaeus Mckee.
Slappity pappity, wait.
On the ones and twos, the wheels of steel, the sauce boss of Indianapolis, and the last bespoke dragon. Give it up for Zach Roan, everybody.
Scrappy-dappy-doo.
Hey!
2 very special first-time guests with us in studio from Open Fire.
Yeah.
Josh and Julie Baker.
Howdy.
Thanks.
Welcome. No relation, right?
No.
Just by marriage.
We went into business because we have the same last name. That was the secret.
Relatives by choice. I like that. That's my favorite.
That would be a crazy show. Like, everybody had to be sorted by their last name, even if you didn't, you had to start businesses with them.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
I would be rich.
You have like a genealogy challenge where it's like if you are related, you have to like, I don't know, go into debt extra hard. Or it's like, no,
It's a handicap.
It's a handicap if you're actually related.
Yeah.
But you'd have to do the thing that your last name is. Like, you'd have to be a baker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd be screwed.
Wait, what would you do?
I'd have to build dikes.
But you changed
Or like-
it. Now you're a Michaels.
That is
So you'd
true.
have to go Michael people.
Yeah, I don't know.
You'd be a sound guy,
you'd be
just
a-
like
a
walking
serial-
around like a boom. You'd be a boom operator.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, that's the boomers.
a Michael. Okay. I thought Michael was like... Isn't there like a killer named Michael?
Yeah, Michael
Myers?
Myers.
Yeah.
How did he kill people?
with a knife.
There was also a Ninja
have to knife
Turtle.
people.
There's been a lot
Was
of
there
Mikes.
another Michael in
basketball
the
player?
history of the world?
Yeah.
It's a popular name.
All right. I didn't know. He's
One
the
of the
first one I
most,
met.
actually.
Okay.
Well, welcome to the show, guys. I was very impressed. I saw you guys at Ramp Fest.
Yeah.
And just tell everybody kind of about what's your concept, because like one of the coolest things is how visually appealing what you guys do is. And so like amongst all these other like really top chefs that are out there, you guys have fire and skulls and you know, like all kinds of like a cauldron and all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And so like before you even know what's going on, people are kind of like just drawn over like just to see what.
It's almost like a cheat code. Like we're surrounded by these awesome chefs, and then it's like, well, we have fire, so like we're lucky to be in the same company as they are.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, we all still love fire.
Yeah.
You know?
We started this because it's like let's make fire with our friends and cook over.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that's what the whole concept of the open fire is. It's like
Well, and we started doing it in our backyard
Yeah.
during the pandemic because we were bored and we wanted to be outside. We were sick of being indoors.
Sure.
We had moved into a house that we had just bought, and it had a little fire pit, like just a brick ring fire pit in the back, and we just started making food in there.
Yeah.
And I just started taking videos of it for posterity, and we made a little Instagram about it, and then our friends were like, post more videos. So we were like, oh, you like that? And they're like, yes, more bacon, sizzling, more steaks with butter, like getting on, more things cooking on fire. And so we just started making more of them. And then eventually John was like, we should do this.
make a business
like
out of
for
this.
real do this.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like,
okay,
let's talk about it.
And what were you doing before?
I mean, like I've worked in the restaurant industry just as like line cook and stuff like that. Like I work at Milktooth. She does jewelry design and stuff like that. So I mean, food's always been a thing
Sure.
we do, and this is like, I mean, we were talking earlier about like having an exit strategy. Like, you can't be a line cook your whole life. Like, my knees won't let that happen. Like, so it's like, what else can we do? Like, well, making a fire and cooking over fire. Like, you can sit down a little bit for that sometimes.
Yeah,
so.
this is something we really love and are passionate about. And it's like, even though we do spend a lot of time in restaurants or serving people food, when we do it this way, it's never a chore. It's because we're playing a long game. You know, it takes a long time to set up the fire. It takes a long time for the food to cook. So a lot of it for us is very relaxing, which is actually a complete change of pace from our normal restaurant experiences, which are more fast paced, you know, and a little more hectic and can be fun, chaotic, you know. This is just so chill.
I feel like, and I've talked a lot about it on here, but I feel like a lot of us kind of reevaluated like during the pandemic on like what we wanted to do and stuff. And I love seeing all these people that come from the industry branching off and doing unique things that are especially like, this seems like it's very specifically you guys, you know, like, and branching out from what feels comfortable. My question is, what is that transition like going from having your friends in your backyard to now like going, I mean, do you guys do it in other people's backyards, or do you,
we'd like to.
You have strangers come over to your house and like, how does that?
We started popping up at Milktooth.
Okay.
Yeah. We just started, hosting pop-ups at Milktooth, and we started advertising about them, and the first couple were a lot of just our like friends and family, or other industry friends that would stop by, and we did good at those dinners, but more and more it kind of grew from there. And we've been doing them at Milktooth a lot because we both work there, but we've already got plans to do them all over the place.
I mean,
we
like,
would do them in your private garden if you want to
like
hire us to come over. Parties. Do it at your wedding. Do it at like a family reunion party.
Because I mean, like, the thing we specialize is like whole animals. So like we did this. We had a lamb that was like 40 pounds. Whole lamb, like split in half on a cross over the fire, and so it was really cool. But it's like, you need at least 20 people for that, or 30 people for that. You know, you can't just like
waste meat.
It's like,
because there's a lot, and we were cutting through that and serving course after course of it.
We had 2 whole lamb on the awesome.
Wow.
And at one point we put the ribs out, and they were like these giant rib bones with like lamb. It was delicious.
Now, so at your events, is it? What is it? Is like, you obviously have to get there early and like prepare this food like hours and hours, but like people are showing up, and are you guys like schmoozing with the guests and kind of entertaining, or is like, here's the food and then kind of?
I mean, it's a little of
both.
People, like, we always try to encourage people to come and like talk to us and hang out, like, because nobody does this in Indy. Like, there's not like an open fire like place or like a company that does this. So it's like, come over here and talk to us. Like, we'll have people be like, man, I've got a fire pit in my backyard. Like, what kind of wood are you using? I could do that, right? It's like, you can, and you should. But I mean, what's beautiful about what we do is like, you just pay us and we'll do it. And
you get the whole experience. I mean, I do think that some people, because a lot of times people come on dates or in maybe like couple groups or groupings together. So they're having their nice time on their own. But most of our dinners are so interactive, it's hard not to, it's just hard to ignore the community aspect of it, I think. And that's what we really want to foster.
Like family style plating. We're not, it's not always just like, here's your composed dish. You know, it's like today, it's like, hey, everyone share this food. Like, share this time together. Like, that's what it is. Like,
food is a great opportunity for community.
Absolutely. And you end up getting tables that are talking to each other, that don't know each other, but become friends. Or sometimes we get a few people that come on their own and sit at a community table and end up in like a really wonderful conversation later. And then they end up being the ones closing the place down.
There was a pop-up where it was like these 2 ladies that were sharing a bottle of wine, and I was like, and they were the last table there, like at the end of the pop-up, and it's like, did you ladies like come together, plan this? And they're like, no, we were both here by ourselves, and we sat down, and it was like, and we were like uniting over the food, and it like, hopefully like the vibes we put out was good, obviously.
Yeah, well,
like,
I mean, I think that's kind of the point. It's a different type of dining experience than you can get anywhere else. You know, even in a restaurant, you don't always feel comfortable, or you just wouldn't talk to the tables next to you or have that more community-based feel. But we're talking to them, and we're, you know, we know some people that come, and we don't know a lot of them, so we get to the opportunity to make friends. And
it doesn't feel like schmoozing.
It's not. Let me just say this: you guys are a certified good hang. For Harder Brunch, certified good hang.
He very rarely gives out the certified
I don't.
good hang.
Actually, this is my first one.
Get that stamp.
Other people should have got them.
We had a whole pack of cards. We were supposed to do.
You're gonna have to retroactively appoint them.
Is it embossed, like an embossed stamp?
It's gonna take a while for you guys to get the stamp, but it's gonna be.
We'll be
Ed Batista.
Awesome.
Ed is the other one. Ed Batista.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I give him a certified good hang. That's how I met him. Just at a table, we're just all talking.
Yeah.
And that's how you should meet people.
We didn't know that he owned the restaurant we were eating in. I was like, this guy's crazy.
That's always a fun time. Some of my favorite moments have been meeting people like that in restaurants, and I still have friends that it's like, well, I mean, we met at Milktooth. We met in a restaurant. Just I was dining, you were cooking. You know.
You were eating?
I was eating at the counter.
She sat
The cook started hitting on you?
No.
To be fair, she started hitting on me.
Oh, you started hitting on the cook?
To be fairer, I was chill, and then I just messaged him later.
Oh, wow. You're like, look at that cook.
Wait, how'd you get the number, though?
We were friends on Facebook. He had friended me on Facebook before that.
Oh.
And I was like, I think he's in my friends list. He's in my friends list.
That's the
Guys, check out the poke. It's still there.
Yeah, it's still a thing.
Use the poke.
Bring the poke back.
Bring the poke back. Zuckerberg didn't make it for no reason. They're in love because of the poke.
That's right. That's exactly
If somebody pokes me, I report them to the police.
I wish you could like react to the poke.
Yeah.
Like, sad.
This was 10 years ago, so it feels maybe a dated point in technology.
We're in a post-poke apocalypse.
She MySpaced me.
Wait, so what was your line when you messaged him? Do you remember?
I referenced something that we had talked about.
Because I was just like, obviously talking about food, and I said something. I was like, yeah, last night I had a large pizza and a box of Gushers and a bag of Ritz
It was like
chips.
2 large pizzas, because one large pizza wouldn't have seemed as
But it was
impressive,
a lot.
But it
and
was a lot.
She was like, hey, anyone that can eat that much food seems pretty cool. Like,
Wow, is that what you have to
it
do?
was so smooth. It was so like, she's just like, whatever. And of course, I'm like, here's my number. Let's talk. Like, let's go on a date.
I have an open fire in my pants.
Hey-o.
So we're gonna need to wait 3 to 6 weeks until that open fire dies down.
The doctors are checking it out. Let me just ask this though. Let me throw this on there. How did you guys fall? Like, you have a whole backstory where the universe kind of brought you guys together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So our parents, I mean, like, I'm from Cincinnati originally. She's from
Here.
Brownsburg. And our parents went to college in Ohio together.
Ooh.
So no, my oldest brother, who is significantly older than me, went, because I'm a late in life baby for my parents. He went to college with Josh's parents.
Yeah.
And
Your older brother.
My oldest
Okay,
brother
okay.
went to college with Josh's parents. He's a few years younger, but they, like, his dad and my brother played on the same basketball team.
Okay.
His mom had classes with my brother, and
it wasn't like a Ohio State University where it's like, yeah, there's 4 million people on the campus.
It was a very
of course,
small school.
it was like 1,000 people in the school.
Yeah.
Now, did you both know this when you
we
came
didn't
into
know each
Milktooth?
other
Okay.
when we met at Milktooth.
Yeah, we never knew
And
each
our
other.
first date was basically us like talking, getting to know each other, you know, and all these stories start to come out, and it's like, wait, you know this? Oh, you know that? It's like, wait.
Yeah.
So basically, on the, like, when her mom went into labor with her, a secretary or like a school administrator came into her brother's classroom, a biology lab, and was like, hey, your mom's having a baby. Just thought we'd let you know.
And he had to leave.
And he had to leave the classroom. My mom was in the classroom and remembers being like, "What? You're 19 and your mom's having a baby? Like, what?" Like, my mom wasn't that mean, but
they were
later
all
on-
making fun of him a little bit, and it's like that was the story. I grew up hearing that story from my brother because he was like kind of mortified that everyone was making fun of him, and he's like, "Yeah, I had to leave class," and then years later, come to find out, my
the
future
story, and she
mother-in-law
was
was
like-
one of those people.
That's wild.
Wow. Wild.
Yeah.
serendipity.
And then when you guys found out, like, did you guys hear angels sing? Like it was like, hey.
I mean, they had already been singing since the moment we met.
Oh, that's sweet.
We'll be right back for a tearjerker. Wipe your eyes, guys. This is gonna get sappy.
Next on The Bachelor.
Next on College Love.
We were talking before the mics turned on. You guys were talking about that you had a friend move into your old place.
Oh yeah.
And we were trying to figure out a name for that.
Oh yeah, you got one?
No, but you brought up, he was like, it happened to you once. That didn't happen to me. I had the opposite happen to me.
Well, first off,
Oh, no.
Nick moved in, Sirius Black
Yes.
moved into your house,
Old
which
house. that
After
used to
we
rent.
moved out.
is the guy that does our theme song.
Yeah.
And you have that happen to you as well.
No, I lived with two other guys, and then we all moved out, and then one of the guys moved back in to that house. Like, he was the first to move out,
But then he moved
and then he moved back in, and
once you guys left.
yes, and then he also moved in with like a white guy and a biracial guy. I'm like, you literally replaced
It's
them.
like, it's like the season 3 reboot.
They were.
But it goes from the BBC to like Netflix, and the entire cast is just a little bit different. Yeah, it's like replacing Doctor Who every time.
Yeah.
Someone was asking for too much money.
Like the British Office.
Man.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
It wasn't testing well in certain
Yeah,
markets.
no. I
That's
can
funny.
imagine my show was not tested
Yeah.
well.
That's why you had to move.
Now, are you guys? Are you gonna operate year round with this? Is it only seasonal or?
As much as we can. I
Yeah.
mean, we did dinners in November and December of last year. We took January off, but we came back in February.
Yeah, we're
so,
thinking. I mean, like, there's just certain times
Sure.
more than anything. Like,
yeah, January is just a hard time of the year with the holidays.
Yeah.
We usually don't do a dinner around that.
There's an
time.
ice storm.
Ice
Probably
storm.
not.
although
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like cooking over the fire, the weather,
You
like,
can do it in the snow.
it's only more miserable when it's hot, not not
Yeah.
when it's cold. Like when it's cold,
It feels even better.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like the saying, chopping firewood eats you twice because you're warmed up when you're cutting the wood, and then you're warmed up when you're making the fire.
Do you guys know there's a place in Rocky Ripple that's like it's like an outdoor wilderness.
Oh yeah, White Pine.
White
Yeah.
Pines.
Yeah,
we
we've done a
actually
dinner
we
there.
did a dinner. It was
They got the yurt.
yeah, we've been there.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
We did Standing Rock.
We did a benefit
We did
dinner.
a benefit dinner
for Standing
for
Rock
that.
there pre-pandemic.
And we had done like foraged mushrooms and ingredients and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It
But
was
that would be
really
a cool
fun.
place to do whole
Yeah.
chickens. And,
Yeah, we were cooking over the fire for that.
Like
too.
that seems like a fun spot venue. I don't know,
Yeah,
is
that would be a
venue?
great
Yeah,
venue for what we do.
That's
Shout
right up
out
our
White
alley.
Pine.
Yeah, sure.
I'm here to ask some of the tough questions, guys.
I'm ready.
I'm not just
Perfect.
gonna let you guys skate
This
by.
isn't a
Yeah,
softball
this is-
interview.
This is- yeah.
Hard nosed
I'm not-
journalism here.
You know what I'm
Alright.
saying?
Do you have Kleenexes we can just if we start to
Lay it
cry?
on
or
me.
anything?
Yeah. With the fire, is there a learning curve to burning the food? Does that ever happen? Do you ever?
We have some failed attempts at food.
I would
sometimes.
say like you almost
But we
like,
do it
you
at
almost
home.
want the burn. You want the char.
Yeah.
You know, like that's
There's
that's
gonna
like
be
an
some of
extra
it you
element.
can get away with, though, right?
For sure.
because it's in the name, and so
Yeah.
and people do like a bit of the char.
And
Yeah.
sometimes
Everyone
like
to open fire.
That's
like
what
if
you're
there's
looking
ash,
for.
if
If it
there's
was-
ash in a thing, I'll be like, oh, that's just extra flavor. You
Yeah.
know, like that's a easy like workaround.
That makes sense.
It
yeah.
is kind of part of the aesthetic.
I
too.
think
It just can't be under. It can't be too.
that's what.
too light.
If anything, it's harder to like. Well, is it ready yet?
Yeah, like, this is still
ready
frozen.
yet?
But we've got internal
it's slower.
thermometers. We have internal
Yeah,
thermometers.
like,
We also
you're taking
have
temps.
2
I believe in you guys.
incredibly expert chefs that have been doing that for years and years,
Sure.
and basically know what
Yeah.
what it's going to be by the feel.
Yeah.
Like those guys, they know what it feels
Right.
like and how it's going to be inside.
Because when we go camping, I never burn anything. Like I make hot pocket pies that are awesome.
Very floppy.
Well,
very floppy and light colored. Just
Crisp
kind of
enough-
oily. Kind of
crisp
oily.
enough,
Not what you would want out of something that came off of a
crisp
fire.
enough for people
at
to be
all.
like, "This is awesome. How did you do it?" You know what I mean?
Yep. Never
That's what
said
people-
once.
Like I have to get the recipe.
Yep. Nobody says that.
Nobody says that. No.
Well, the recipe's there, so they don't.
How
have
do I
to
get
ask
this
you.
out of my mouth?
Do you have something I can rinse this
Yeah.
out with?
Well, people with weaker palates might say that.
Yep.
Were these
Yeah,
two?
yeah,
This sandwich is too
But
much
these
for my
guys,
palate.
they leave it in the fire too long. Any tips for people that are hard, habitual burners?
Yeah, but also, what are you making? It's like a hot pocket
Hot
situation.
pocket
A
apple
pudgy
pie.
That
pie.
feels-
Oh,
is
a
what
pudgy
it's called. A
pie.
pudgy
Yeah.
pie.
Which the
And
only
you don't
most
want a
talented.
floppy
Do you
pudgy
use
Like
pie.
cast iron
Yeah.
pie makers.
A pudgy
I've
maker.
actually never used one of
They're
those.
fun.
My buddy just gave me one though.
Oh yeah, we should pudgy pie it up.
Pudgy
yeah,
pie.
Yeah.
that's a good idea. I just feel like, sometimes
Yeah.
there's certain types of food that lend themselves better to open fire cooking than others, and pastry is not always
Easy.
at the top of that.
We
list.
have this pan though. It's called an abelskiver.
Those are
You gotta
fun.
say it's super like Swedish or whatever, but it's like it's got like 6 different individual. It's a donut pan.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you like pour this batter in it and just like clarified butter. It's really good.
And
We did
cast
it for
iron.
one of our dinners. So you're
That's
cooking
awesome.
it over the fire.
That type of pastry type item lends itself well to over the fire cooking because it was originated from over the fire
Yeah.
cooking. But yeah, I mean, some stuff just doesn't turn out on the
Yeah.
fire, and those are the things we don't do.
So like my family grew up like I grew up in a family of bird watchers.
Oh yeah,
And so we
Lots of
my
binoculars.
grandma all day.
a lot of camping was involved because
Yeah.
you got to follow the birds. You know, they're in the
migratory
woods. The
patterns.
migratory patterns. So like I was camping like kind of car camping since I was like 2 weeks old.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so we did a lot of they would do some open fire like the old school like tripod grill, you know, they'd set up over there and like cook steaks like that. And I always thought that was cool, like raising and lowering and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But we always did pies for dessert, and it was very basic. It was just like you would just butter bread and then fill it full. It was basically
Yeah,
like,
like
a
a white
s'more.
bread, yeah.
you would.
Oh,
you would,
yeah,
You just butter
absolutely.
bread, and then and like if you really wanted to jazz it up, you throw some peanut butter, some jelly in there.
Oh yeah.
And then it just made this perfect like circular little like
Those things are
you could
cool.
ruin it. Like you're not wrong. Like if you
For sure.
if you left it in there, you could have a charred mess. But
Yeah.
like typically, as long as Tad's not making it, it's
No,
gonna
no.
come
Those
out
are a
pretty
little
good.
easier.
Have a floppy,
Yeah.
droppy mess.
I would say charred mess should be the name of your guys' outside restaurant.
Yard mess.
Welcome back to Charred Mess. You guys asked for it.
I love it. 3 Michelin
Charter
stars.
brands.
Yeah,
I would travel for that food.
yeah. That or Charizards.
Yeah.
They're the Charizards.
Now, do you guys ever do anything like play around with like the idea of like hot dogs or anything silly like that?
Are you asking if they could cook hot dogs?
No.
on the fire?
Well, we
Like-
made sausages for the
Like we did a
low
low country boil.
Yeah.
And now, yeah.
We made our own,
Yeah.
sausages.
Oh, that's awesome.
we have talked about doing different types of that kind of food.
Yeah.
But it would have to be something a little more unique.
Well,
Yeah,
we
that's-
should collaborate on Wieners 17 times this
Oh,
year.
yeah.
Wieners 17
Yeah.
Well, they're
times.
not going to the summer camp.
Oh, that's a
They're
problem.
kind of lame in that way.
Okay.
I think we have an event that weekend.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because our events are on Saturdays.
Oh.
usually,
Yeah.
the pop-ups.
Well, maybe next year we'll have you be the guest chefs.
We would
That would
love
be
that.
awesome.
Because
For the open fire?
we do have a
Yeah.
chef's table dinner for our VIPs.
Wait,
That would
you're
be
gonna have
perfect.
them skip the meat cake line?
Ooh.
That was
You did just step out of line.
Do we have to work meat cake?
Well,
I feel like even the
so
meat
first
king
you
can
have to
come
win
in
the meat
and-
cake invitational.
Yeah.
What look?
I'm coming for you, Bridget.
It's a rigged game. We've been rigging it. We're just gonna come out and say it now.
edit that out.
it's a real rigmarole.
It's a real
Keep it real.
rigmarole. You know.
It's still real to us.
Well, however it works out, we're always happy to be a part.
One
We can
guy's
even go on like a foraging walk.
kayfabe.
Oh, that would be a lot of fun.
Kayfabe.
We need to do that anyway. We keep saying we're gonna do a forage.
Forage?
Yeah.
A
Yeah,
forage
let
brunch.
us do that.
Yeah, we want to do that.
That would be
Let's set
fun.
that up. We'll do that, and then we'll do a reindeer roast closer to Christmas.
Oh, A reindeer roast?
Actually, you guys received that a lot better than I anticipated. I did not expect anybody
We
to
will
yes
never
and
shy away from wild
reindeer
game.
roast.
Wild game.
But I
we
really want to make it
love
happen now.
Are you allowed to
bu-
eat reindeer?
You get a bunch
I
of
just-
juniper. You get a bunch of juniper and rosemary
Yeah, you
in
can eat
there.
it, yeah.
Yeah,
I did.
absolutely.
I did a chef's night off a couple months ago, and I did a venison tartare.
Oh,
What?
that sounds-
It was
It was
amazing.
so
We did
good. I
it
did,
at one of our dinners too.
Caraway, juniper, allspice,
Yeah.
and just like salt.
I'm here for it.
It was
It
amazing.
was so good.
I just fell in
and
love.
we made amaranth chips.
I don't
we
even
made
know what that
it's like a
means.
grain.
Amaranth is like a grain that you can puff. It was one of the original like grains that were in America.
Native to
actually.
our
native
Really?
to.
How do you puff it? Like
Just like in like a little saute pan, like you would like
Like with
popcorn or
popcorn?
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like because it's so small, it like
yeah, you have puff
it
pass.
goes really fast. Yeah, puff.
Yeah.
But then then we like made like a dough out of it, like with water and like spread it and just like dried it out in the oven, and it's like amaranth crackers. It's really like
Yeah.
earthy.
It was a little
like
finicky to work
mushroomy.
with, but they turned out incredible. And the taste of the amaranth cracker with the venison tartare was just
My goodness.
really
Yeah,
nice.
that sounds excellent.
I want to teleport to that moment right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, it's so
Should've been there.
so lean. Like venison is so lean. Like there's no fat on it.
yeah, and that was delicious.
Because all they do is run and eat grass all day. Like
Delicious, 100% natural reindeer meat.
So
yeah, you can if you can get a good place for
from
it.
like Scandinavia or something.
But we need like a
Yeah.
quarter of a reindeer.
Oh yeah.
We don't need just like a loin or
a
something.
quarter of a
Oh yeah,
reindeer.
you need
Well,
like
yeah,
a big.
we're doing
And
a
keep
big
the rest of it
roast.
alive?
What?
Portion.
You butcher it,
I
and they
was
send
like,
us just one
You can't
quarter
just
of
chop
it.
up half a quarter of a reindeer and keep the rest of it
stay
alive.
alive.
Because I'm not for that.
Screaming in the trailer.
Suspense
That's why I jump off the
animation.
boat. That's why I get off the
There you
boat.
go.
That's a
Throw it in
deleted
the yard.
page from the night before Christmas. It's like there's Saint Nick and his three-legged
Yeah,
reindeer.
yeah. They'll grow back. They'll
Comet
grow back.
Cupid,
Grow back.
like Donovan, and like
They're just keeping it alive to keep sprouting new loins.
Yes. No,
That's how you sustainably eat a reindeer.
Let it grow back.
no wonder why Rudolph's nose was so red. He was embarrassed. He was ashamed of what was going on.
Mortified.
I'm ashamed.
pull harder than the
That joke.
three-legged guy.
Blushing the whole time. You know, I am down to eat the reindeer, and I think we should make this happen. We'll do
It's
this.
all wild game.
What if we do this for our birthday?
It's
For
got to be
our
at
Harder Brunch-
Christmas.
Yeah, it's got to be like a holiday.
Yeah.
Holiday. Because remember the rule day after Christmas, nobody cares about Christmas anymore.
Yeah.
You can't be eating reindeer and
July.
Jan 3, Jan 14. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that. All right.
Do
I'm
it for
sorry, I
Christmas,
just
like
got
a
really
Yule
excited.
dinner or
Yeah.
something.
Oh man.
Ooh,
You'll
nightmare before
regret-
a nightmare
You'll
before
regret
Christmas.
it.
Yeah,
You'll regret.
Then we can keep it half alive.
Yep.
No, that's when you reanimate.
Yeah,
it.
we bury it in the pet cemetery.
Hook it up
And
to
eat it twice.
ChatGPT.
This is the ghost reindeer meat.
Thought there'd be less car batteries.
That'd be less-
Let's take a quick commercial break. I'm gonna make some more Tinker coffee.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And did you guys get to try any of the
It was
coffee?
delicious.
They drink
French
it all.
press.
Yeah.
It's our favorite. It really spoiled me for every other coffee. Like
Yeah.
when I go out on the road, I'm always just like, oh man, I'm so
We get that
spoiled.
at
Yeah.
Milk Tooth. Like,
Yeah, it's delicious. You don't even really need to put cream or sugar in it. It's that good.
That's what it is.
And you can have it delivered straight to your door. And if you use promo code brunch, you get 25% off your first order. How about that?
Nice.
Let's take a
deal.
quick Tinker coffee break, and we'll be right back with Josh and Julie.
That's right.
This week on the After Brunch Podcast.
We all just want to be a podcast star.
Yep.
Mckee has a legal bar. He's selling drugs out of the streets. He's shooting cops right into their feet. Hey, this is a legal podcast. Everybody get your hands up. Hey, this is a legal podcast. Hey, people are getting cancer from this. It's so toxic. We punched.
Join us at patreon.com/harderbrunch.
I worked with Bridget at the pie shop, and she was talking a bunch about like her, because she won the first year or the second year.
Oh wow! So you've been Harder Brunch adjacent for a while.
Yeah.
But just never came in.
Never came
No.
on. Yeah.
Just peered from the outside.
Yeah.
Until it was just right.
Yeah, we
God.
were just outside looking in.
Till the time was right.
I respect it. I respect the slow game.
Well, it was crazy because like you were having that baby, and then Josh, his dad knew about it.
My baby.
Yeah, it's
Trying to do a callback. Everyone in the room forgot about it.
I definitely forgot about for like a split
It's
second.
like a reference to our love story, is what he's saying.
Oh.
Like somehow it's even tied.
Our
further.
Can you use the boo button for that?
It wasn't very good.
It's always good when
Shame.
you have to be
Shame.
explained.
Is that from Game of Thrones? She's hitting the bell.
Oh, you remember that part?
Yeah. We actually just watched
watched
through.
See,
First time.
First time ever.
see, that's what I want to do.
Like a week ago, we got done.
Do you
Yeah.
suggest saving it for marriage? The
Everything.
show.
All the series.
I think that's another podcast entirely.
I mean, it could be this one, but no.
I don't know, but I think it definitely is better binged all at once.
when you're not
Oh,
waiting.
yeah.
as
You know, because
long.
then you don't have to
okay.
complain about the pacing of the last season.
But also, you don't forget.
You remember
like,
everything.
There were
Yeah,
so
you remember
many.
everything.
Because I remember our friends watching it in live time, and it would be these long absences. You know,
Yeah.
when they wouldn't have. And I just thought it was more fun to be able to do it all at once when
To
we
be
wanted
impatient.
Now, did you guys get very emotionally attached to Ned Stark when you were watching the?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, was it spoiled to any? Because you haven't like. There's been a lot
No.
of.
There were some things like I knew that what the Red Wedding was,
Right.
But I didn't know.
The
We
extent
didn't
of
know,
it.
extent of it,
and we
yeah.
didn't know which episode it was going to be. Like once
Yeah.
the episode happened, he was like, "That's
That was
the red wedding."
That
that
must
I-
have been the red
like
wedding.
when he gets up to hold like the glass, and it's like, no, this is
This
the red.
is-
I think we're about to see the Red Wedding.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
that's, yeah, okay. See, my wife would read spoilers, and
Oh,
then
I
she would
don't.
start crying before something
it
bad would
happened.
happen. So you would always know when something terrible. It was like
I
the
don't-
music.
Wow.
What a
Oh,
weird
man. I don't
canary
read-
in the coal mine. Yeah. So weird.
Just watching your wife tear up, like,
oh
oh
great!
I just
There's
try to
rain.
look dead ahead.
I got way too connected
Yeah.
to this character.
I would hate that so much. That's like I don't watch a lot of
terrible.
sports, but have you ever been in a situation where like someone's watching the same game, but for some reason and they're in another room and they're like 60 seconds ahead, and you'll just hear them be like, "Oh yeah," and you're like, "Oh, I know something's about to happen."
I mean,
Good or
that
bad.
happens. Like, I'm a big wrestling fan, and because she is awesome, she is too. Like, we watch a lot of wrestling, and sometimes like pay-per-views will get spoiled. Like, you'll find out who wins a match, and so it's like, oh wait, I didn't want to know. Like, it's still fun to watch the match, but it's like,
Yeah.
you know, how
I
it's
never
gonna
read
end.
any Game of Thrones spoilers
Yeah.
though, because when it was in live television, I wasn't interested
I wasn't
in
watching
watching.
it.
We weren't watching
so
it.
it's
Now-
filtered out.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you have to like go looking for it. If
But
you want to.
also,
makes
I have
sense.
I have a terrible memory. I am like the best person to tell a secret to because I will forget. So like even if I had read it was so long ago. Like by now, I will have forgotten
Yeah.
it.
Tyrion who?
Yeah, I was like, who's that?
I like reverse spoilers. Like yeah, this guy dies. They don't.
But they're like watching till the end of the credits.
Well-
It's like maybe it happens here. Maybe it happens here.
yeah,
It's an
yeah.
end scene.
Well, I did remember the one thing from that show was the who killed Jon Snow moment, and I thought I remembered that.
Wait, Jon Snow dies?
But that
Like a
but then it
couple times.
didn't.
Spoiler. Oh yeah, spoilers.
But then
Sorry.
it's like I thought I remembered one piece of that, but then it was like when you watch it in binge time instead of real time, things happen and change so fast. So not to start any more spoilers, but things happen and change so fast. It wasn't a thing. It
Yeah.
wasn't as big of a deal.
There's a lot of people killed. Jon
And so that
Snow.
was the only thing that I remembered,
Oh,
and it
okay.
wasn't ruined for me because I honestly, like it was like 8 episodes after that I was like, oh, that was probably that moment.
Yeah.
Now, since you binge watched everything, how did you feel about like the last season?
I mean,
I
like
liked it. I mean,
I had to look up what people were upset about.
Okay.
Because I remember
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
people being like, I hated the way it ended. And it was like,
So
what was it about it? Because I thought like it
Yeah.
ended great. I
So
was not
yeah.
upset.
I feel like I'm contrary and like I loved the ending. So
Yeah.
I think people got pissed off that they got tricked into following Daenerys as a hero.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you look in-
100%.
When you look in
Yeah.
retrospect, she was pretty cutthroat. And in the scenes where she's doing it to bad people, you're like, oh yeah, they deserve it. But
Yeah.
then like once she starts doing it to like more ambiguous characters and even good
Yeah.
characters, it's like,
Yeah.
no, she is a tyrant. And,
Yeah.
and once
Yeah.
she flips, I thought it was
that
brilliantly
was-
done.
I didn't mind that at all.
They
Yeah.
talked about.
Yeah.
I saw that on Reddit. They said they were like the like descent into madness of Daenerys was way faster than like the books or than it should have been, because I guess the last season was a little rushed.
It did go fast, but I feel like they gave him a couple of things.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
you see the whole Dothraki army get killed, and
Yeah.
then you
They
lose a couple
outpaced
key
the
people.
books though too.
That
So
was
it's
the other,
just
yeah, because
like-
I think he still have to write one more.
which I don't think he is.
No.
Yeah.
It's like
He just said, "Oh well,
He's just making too much money to.
Yeah.
In the end, I thought that I thought the last bit was definitely fan oriented, and I'm a fan.
Yeah.
And I liked the way everybody ended up, and I didn't mind a little bit of a. I don't want to say cookie cutter, but like a good positive ending
Like a
and
popcorn
things
ending,
like that. Like
right.
that's one of the things I was telling Josh that I loved about Tolkien is like a lot of things happen, but like everything gets figured out in the end. And like even though like people
There's, like,
you
a bow
love
on
will
it.
die, of course, but everything ends and has like its moment, and it feels there's a lot of closure in his writing. And I felt the same way about the ending of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's you.
So
When Frodo died, I was.
Man, when that dragon ate Frodo,
Spoilers, yeah. If you haven't seen Lord of the Rings, when the dragon blows up,
If you haven't read this 70-year-old book,
Frodo dies. Frodo goes in the worst way possible.
yeah, and in like the first two scenes.
It's gross.
torn apart by dragons.
torn apart.
I definitely thought when the Gundam flew in, that was a little overkill.
Yeah, I was surprised Tolkien went there. Honestly,
When Get Off the Grave started joining in, that's when I was like, hey,
Yeah.
this is gross.
This is a cash grab, guys.
All right. Well, let's talk about the food that we had for brunch today. It's time for the Smoking Goose brunch breakdown. Smoking Goose, you know where they're at, over there on Dorman Street. 411 Dorman Street, Zach. Did you dare? Great place to get salumi, sausages, smoked meats, whole muscle and larder meats, charcuterie boards. No place better. We love them. We use their product all the time. I always say the kitchen sink sausage is like a cheater sausage. You put that, mix that in with anything, and people are like, "Man, this is so good." I'm like, Smoking Goose did the heavy lifting on
Yeah. If you like to cheat when you cook.
I mean, we had Smoking Goose charcuterie board at our wedding.
Oh, did you really?
they sure did. They did an amazing job.
Man.
It was that, and then we ordered 10 pizzas.
Nice. Ooh.
That's a good way to go.
But can we ask, like, what chain? What chain?
The pizza chain.
It was some, like, local in Brownsburg.
It was in Brownsburg. We just chose like a local family.
It's like
place.
New York
Was it Pizza
style.
King?
Papa Pizzas?
Papa
Yeah.
Pizza King. It was this little place called Domino's.
Oh.
It wasn't Domino's.
The Pizza King thing is really interesting because it's like, I guess there was like two different.
It's a
Brothers.
family split.
Yeah, so it's like the Bloods and the Crips of the
Yeah,
Pizza
it's
Gang.
IU and Purdue
Yeah.
in Indiana, man. You're just
And if
like
you
one
say
or
the wrong
other.
thing to the wrong person,
Yeah.
like I'm like, you know what? I don't care who owns what. My question is
Is it good?
no,
That's not even important anymore.
not even important.
Is it chopped pepperoni?
No, my question is, does a train bring my drink?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I care
If
about.
it's not the train,
I would
you're
say,
anyway.
I would say
it's no
also
Pizza
if
King
I
at all.
can't order from a phone in my booth in a bus,
Yeah. And watch
I don't
TV
think that's not
on a
yeah.
television that I have to turn a
Yeah, you
knob.
gotta turn
for
the knob.
changes.
That's Pizza King to me.
That is Pizza King.
I could,
to me,
you could
too.
bring me a rat, you know.
Yeah.
I don't care what
but
we're
bring it
eating.
on that train.
You'd be surprised how delicious it's cooked over an open fire.
Yeah.
Just saying.
There you go. If there's no train, it's not the chain.
That's right. That's true.
So today we did kind of a tapas menu. Harder Brunch presents Spanglish. That was Zach. I like that's cute.
I didn't.
Are you a big fan of the movie? The Adam Sandler film?
No, I just thought that it was our take on Spanish food. So
I love it.
So he was a GM.
no, I was the chef of like Barcelona when it was.
Oh yeah, I remember
for a little while back in the day.
So I was like, Zach knows what he's doing with these tapas.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to get a tapas place off the ground in Indianapolis, I feel like. I lived in Spain for 4 months.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it's just more of a way of life there. But it's hard to get that concept off the ground. I think people, they don't like small food.
Yeah.
They don't want little bits.
Well, what I've realized
But I love
is Zach and I are
tapas food.
very bad about making small food. Like we say we're gonna do it, and then we just.
So we got to a point. So we were doing 6 courses reliably, and like after a lot of like kind of arguing about like, hey, I think we need to make less courses. I think that people will actually be happier. We finally got it to a point where we do 4 of them, and I think it's a really good average.
My doctor hates you guys.
So then we hit this one, and we're like, well, they're tapas, so obviously they're going to be tiny. So we need to do lots of dishes.
Right.
And we ended up having, I don't know, 7 courses.
I'm so full.
I was so full.
It
I
was,
tapping
After
out.
like the cod and the eggplant, like
Yeah.
I was like, I want another one, but it's like there's more.
There's more.
Yeah.
And it's like
You
I
wanted to save room
can't
for
not eat.
dessert?
Yeah. And Yusuf's cake, like
This
I
was-
forgot about dessert.
I forgot
honestly.
about dessert.
Like,
as
I was
well.
like,
So
well,
that's
we're
actually
done.
No, we had
That's
2
8
desserts
courses.
this time.
That was 2.
Yep.
Because there were the tins.
that brownie tin.
The little
yeah.
like brownies in the
Yeah,
cake.
it was today was too much.
Oh, that's so good.
It really was.
The Harder Brunch podcast is just a nap. Like we're in hammocks down here. It's like
So yeah, there was
When I started talking about a
Snort.
treadmill, I realized, we've gone too far again.
I think we need to have a walk. We need to have a walk after brunch.
Well, we used to
One
not, like
less
for a
course.
while. For a while, you guys like kind of sized it down. I was like, "Oh, this is really good," and then like I was like losing weight, and I was like, "You know what? We're gonna make it." And then today,
we're gonna make it.
today was wow.
Yeah, it was delicious.
There was like a kind of an infamous time where it was like early days, and we had a bunch of courses, and then like it served dessert. Everybody was like overstuffed, and then it just hit me. I was like, oh, I have a whole rack of ribs outside that I forgot, and like I just kind of brought the rib, and like people were like cussing at me. Like, no.
No, so that's what you don't understand is like they're in the audience. Like sometimes there would be an alternate dish that would get knocked out of the running sometimes. And that's why one of the reasons that I wanted to print a menu that way we had to like
Keep it
commit
there,
to
yeah.
it because there would be 5 things, 4 things would make it out, and then one would just go in the shame
It's
corner.
like the March Madness bracket. Like
Wow, is that the genius behind the menu now?
Well, I mean, it's part of it, and it
Wow.
doesn't confuse the guests.
Yeah.
I always like being surprised. Sometimes I rarely read the menu,
yeah.
Well,
Well,
all right,
I was saying like I like
I like
having
to
it.
look
partially because I
along.
don't know how to read.
I like to follow along.
I like to know what's good. Well, it's kind of it's a very. I've never experienced the other side of it, but like you don't really know us. We didn't really know you, so it's like you go over to a stranger's house, and it's just kind of like I know we're eating and doing a podcast, but like
That was it.
I feel like I give just enough information to be like come in and kind of be surprised by everything.
Yeah.
You know.
And it was like it wasn't just like we opened a thing of Oreos for you. Like you guys made a meal. Like it wasn't like we thought it out. Like
No, it was beautiful.
it
and
was
well
thought out, not thawed out.
Oh, there you go.
I'll see you guys later.
Yeah. That's my new restaurant I'm opening. Thawed out.
Thawed out.
Thawed out chickens.
It's just air fryers.
They're
Your
just thawed
entire
out.
line is air fryers.
I will say because we take things so cartoonishly over the top for a podcast that like as a comedian, like when I go do other people's podcasts and they just hand me like a bottle of water, I'm like, what? Like where's the ribs?
A precedent has been set.
You guys didn't have paella?
So the first course was what are we doing here? Sorry, the first course was the garum, which was the
Olive.
Gollum.
olive and anchovy and caper spread on Amelia's baguette.
Garum or Gollum?
My precious.
Please, not the fat hobbitses.
That's really good. That's really good.
Oh, geez, Gandalf, please, leave Frodo alone.
When I was
not a very fair riddle. Yeah, that's great.
That's spot on. That is spot on.
You hit it.
When I was like in third grade, like just some dude came in. And they brought the whole class. It was like they got our kindergarten through 8th grade together in the cafeteria, and it was a dude with a hand puppet of Gollum. And he just did the whole cave scene as both characters.
As him and
So it was like,
That's crazy.
That's great. That's awesome.
I mean,
Kinda
I
be
would
fun to
love
find
that,
that.
but I feel like as a child, it could be terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, it
Like,
was a really good puppet, you know?
Yeah, very lifelike.
But I feel like to be able to do that perfectly, you're gonna have to split your personality. There's some damage.
I mean, he would call and response, like that conversation's like really back and forth, and he was a really good ventriloquist. That it was just like
that's like Robin Williams level, like because he could do that kind of back and
never
forth.
trust a ventriloquist. To be honest, there's no reason to. They already told you.
If you can talk fully with your mouth closed,
If you could be
That's witchcraft.
Yeah.
Well,
That's witchcraft.
If you could be two different personalities at the same time,
also a red flag.
like,
then what? I mean, like, what are
What
your
are we
thoughts
doing?
on like actors that like impressionists?
Also-
they're bad. They're the worst.
Yeah.
Kill the
we're
actors.
talking about like Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, he had to stop.
method actors.
Daniel Day-Lewis had to stop.
Yeah, but how good was Last of the Mohegans?
Dude, you want to talk about spoilers? Spoiler alert for anyone if you haven't seen this movie that came out 25 years ago. I watched it with a group of friends when I was like in high school, and it was like I think it was at a youth group or something. And we watched the first half of it, and then a bunch of us had to leave, but like one kid stayed and watched the end. And so we go back the next day to school, and he starts talking about it. It was like, no, hey, we want to finish the movie. Like, don't spoil it for us. He goes, okay, I won't say anything. I will say this, though. This guy, the main character, he makes the ultimate sacrifice. What an asshole.
Like,
So I've never seen the end of The Last of the Mohegans.
So either he dies or an animal dies at his hand.
What an idiot. Oh, sorry to that person.
The ultimate sacrifice.
That's how I had the Bible ruined for me.
That has a lot of teenage drama laced on it.
There's a lot of spoilers in there.
The next one was you, Zach.
Yeah, I did the tapas fritas. It was fried artichokes, and then I made cod cakes, and then I had a cumin and lemon aioli to put with them.
Those
aioli
hot
was
cakes were
delicious.
so good.
I like how everybody said 3 different things. Hot cakes. The hot cakes were insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved that aioli though. I know it's simple,
Yeah.
but I would bottle that and put it on all the things.
Here's the thing. The courses today were all winners. Like, if they were placed in any other course, they would have won. But today, if there was a winner of any course, that hot cake was something that I had to keep thinking about.
Yeah.
I went and tried to find extras.
That texture was so good on it.
Did you whip it?
Thank you. No, well, I baked I boiled the potatoes, and then I strain them, and I put them on a sheet tray, and I put them in the oven at like 250 for, 10-15 minutes, and let them dry out. And
It tastes like a croquette.
Yeah,
like,
I do that. I did that also with the Bravas potatoes that I did later.
Yeah.
And then I do that with potato salad. Like, I feel like it makes the potato a little bit fluffier.
Yeah. It was the winner.
It's delicious.
really
Yeah.
It was so good.
And then I feel like I found out after the fact that you guys are about to do a big paella dinner, right?
Yeah.
And what was funny is like we had this whole discussion, like he was like, should we do like cook something out open fire? I was like, no, we're not gonna do their shtick for them.
That would be fun.
And then I found out like after, it's like, man, we really did this great thing, and I found out you guys are doing a paella dinner.
No, it's awesome.
We also had a paella pan at our house, so it's like if I have remotely a reason to make a paella,
You gotta do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But paella is one of those things that like it can be done in a myriad different ways, you know, that like every time it's going to be good. Yeah. It's always a fun time.
Yeah, it was really good, and he said he was doing that, and then he was like, "Can we just do a bunch of like?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, if that's in the middle, then we can just do a bunch of tapas around it." And
Yes.
got very excited about doing it. What all was in that paella? Is saucy?
So there was some smoked sausage. There was I had marinated some chicken thighs and then grilled those and chopped them up in there. I put some shrimp and some clams as well as a little bit of like chopped up salmon. And then
I got the salmon. Yeah.
Oh, there's salmon in there.
Yeah, it was delicious.
The salmon was the undercover meat.
the undercover meat. I like to put an undercover meat in every.
There usually is.
Yeah. Secret meat.
Wasn't that one of the movies that you're working on? Undercover Meat.
Yeah, they made us stop filming. Actually, I'm not supposed to be talking about it.
I thought you were saying it was stop film animation, and then
nope, they said stop filming legally. We had to stop.
Wait, do you want me to do stop film, or do you want me to stop filming it? Oh, stop filming it. Okay.
Yeah, we could be held up in litigation for years.
Big vegan media trying to shut you down.
Then I did the bean stew.
Oh, that was delicious.
Oh man,
Really savory.
We also didn't realize that we were both doing back-to-back clam clam to clam.
We really clammed up this time. Didn't we?
Doesn't happen very often.
I enjoyed it.
Clam jam,
Bring it on. Bring on the clams.
Oh, I also forgot that Sternberg has a shellfish allergy.
Yeah.
So it's just like, man, there's a lot of...
And a duck egg allergy.
Yeah.
And I just happened to use duck eggs in the batter for the artichokes because I forgot my eggs and there was one duck egg in the fridge. So I mean, like the most random.
Of course,
way,
yeah,
even.
yeah.
So
we ticked off all his boxes. So
Shout-
he might be having a rough afternoon.
yeah, we really did well by
With
him.
his face
He
well
said it should
shut.
work.
Yeah, you had to go to work too.
this is gonna get a laugh. You guys really shelled out the clam.
Seems like everyone really clammed up for that. That joke was a calamity.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Back to back.
Don't get him going all day long.
I win. I'm the clampion.
Okay.
We're done. I'm sorry.
No, that was your three.
First time, last time.
We would have also accepted we are the clampions.
I actually like that one.
And speaking of Chef Alan Sternberg, got us kicked off with a cocktail. He was like, can I be the bartender? And I was like, sure.
Yeah.
He did like a blackberry and Thai basil plantation rum cocktail, which is one of my favorites to begin with.
Cocoa syrup, like simple syrup.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Everybody liked that.
Yeah.
I tried to challenge him at my own house, and people did not like my drink.
No, I think it was unanimous.
Well, I made a scotch
Batched.
and margarita and
Mix.
simple syrup mix.
Premix.
Yeah.
Pre-mixed in the drink.
We just had maybe like a little less thought put into it. He seemed like Alan's was very like thought out.
Are you saying my drink
like
was
had
simple?
a thought into it at least.
No, not simple. But there was simple in it.
Approachable?
Approachable? You said his had more thought, so
His had some thoughts.
it's
Ended up being more
a
thought.
simple kind of drink.
Yeah. Yours was simple, like Simple Jack.
Yeah, that's,
He said it, I did.
guys, I'm not good at it. All right, I lost.
And then the last two courses with the Spanish fried eggplant, and then the papas bravas.
Those were the eggplant had like a sweetness to it,
was
like
nice.
almost like a batter,
Maple
like
or something.
That was the molasses.
Molasses. Okay, I was gonna say, it tasted like a pancake a little bit.
Which
like,
I was very concerned about putting the molasses. I was like, well,
I liked it.
it was like with Yusef's, like with that carrot cake and the tomato on it. Mm-hmm. It's like some things where you're like, I don't know,
Yeah.
this should
It's
be
an
good,
odd
but it's like,
combo.
no,
I think we all had the same like what like kind of like what
what are all those tomatoes
Yeah.
doing on that cake?
Is that dessert?
do you even cake?
Didn't you say you do this professionally?
Yeah, you even cake.
You do even cake.
Well, here's the thing about Yusef. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
he
he
knows
does.
his audience. He knows what he's coming into.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, I'm going to do a tomato cake. Like, and they're going to take this.
Right.
They're gonna take this.
Yeah. And then we put it in our mouths, and everyone's just like, Yeah.
Damn.
It wasn't
Like,
a
you
trick.
win again.
It's
You
the
got us
best
again.
carrot tomato
Yeah.
dessert cake ever of all time.
He's a superpowered
yeah.
man.
When it comes
I
to
think the
sweets.
part of the problem is he's so humble and quiet about stuff. They'll bring something in and just like, it sounds like you made it on accident, you know? Sometimes. And they'll be like, oh, what'd you bring? It's like, oh, I don't know. It's like some sort of cake with tomatoes on it or something, and you're like, that doesn't sound good. And then you have it, and it's just like, this is the best dessert I've ever had. And you're like, oh, I fell for it again.
It is like a magician, right? Like, look at the cloth over here.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to make a bowl come out.
Yeah.
Well,
He's a genius.
Like at Bluebeard, like he'll take the desserts that he was working on the day before and just leave them out on a tray for all the employees to like kind of walk by and just grab pieces. So, but it was just a pile of like pastry guts.
Yes.
And so you just walk by and it's just like, if you're on any kind of diet, it just like messes with you all day.
Oh, yeah.
You're just like, how many times do I have to pass the chocolate cake before I falter? Like, this is not fair.
We do that at Milktooth though. Like sometimes there's extra batter. There'll be like, I'll walk back and there's like a serving dish full of waffle scraps. And then there's some sort of pastry cream sitting next to it that you're supposed to dip it in. And it's, I mean, that's just like, need a snack?
Yeah,
Need a
that's
snack,
real.
friends?
That's trouble.
Like, here's some extra beignets.
Yeah.
Man. Again, my doctor hates you guys. He cusses me out every time I see him.
What are some of your guys'? I know you were talking about kind of the donut thing earlier, but what are some of your guys' favorite like desserts to make around the open fire?
That's a good question.
Yeah, desserts are a little more challenging.
Yeah.
There's the Able Skeevers are one that we are very popular.
Yeah.
S'mores is always a really fun thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or some sort of version of that. There's a lot of fun dump cake, like Dutch oven dump cake.
That's what I was. That's where my mind went.
Yeah, those are really fun. If we have it, I mean, it depends on how many people you've got coming to a dinner, what makes sense for us as far as like how many Dutch ovens we can have dump cakes in going all at once. But yeah, I mean, that there's like a chocolate cherry one that I really liked that was delicious. John did an awesome chocolate wine cake for the prime rib dinner?
A chocolate wine cake.
Yeah, it was like a chocolate red wine cake, and it was.
But it doesn't
slamming.
like it doesn't taste. It tastes like someone's like has a glass of wine next to you.
Really?
Yeah, it's like
it's not like overpowering, but it's like you notice it's there.
It was it's a flavor profile. It's not like you would have rum cake, and if it's highly saturated in rum, you can really taste it. It's not like that at all. It's really just burnt off, and it's in the flavor profile.
Oh, I thought you were saying at first is it soaked in the red wine?
No,
It's
it's
just
like the wine is in the batter.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's an ingredient.
Yeah.
I kind of want to soak a chocolate cake in red wine though.
You should.
That sounds.
Do like a
pretty
tres leches, but with like a German chocolate.
Horchata tres leches.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
I get a little scared about because one time we had rum balls on the podcast, and so like
Did you guys light them on fire?
I typically when I'm cooking, we'll take little bites of stuff as we go, but I don't usually sit down and eat. And personally, for me, it's because I do a better job podcasting if I'm not Thanksgiving full every week,
Right?
You know. But like
your belt.
for whatever reason, this one day we had it was a pirate themed, and the guest brought over these like rum balls, and I had never had I thought it had rum in it. I didn't think about
it soaked? Okay.
And so I, on an empty stomach, just had rum for breakfast, like just a bunch, like a handful of rum balls, and then we started drinking on the podcast, and I'm thinking I ate all those balls earlier. I should be good. But I literally just ate rum and then started drinking rum.
Yeah.
And then at the the last 5 minutes of the podcast, in the middle of the interview, I just fell asleep. And Thad had to finish the interview.
Oh my god!
And then the next day, I woke up and I was like, man, I don't remember them leaving. What happened? Normally I say goodbye to the guests, and then I was like, Thad,
things got turned.
I was like, how come I don't remember? He was like, well, you fell asleep during the last. And I was like, it was those damn rum balls.
That's why I call Upland snooze.
Yeah.
that's. Have you ever had like vodka soaked watermelon?
Oh yeah.
It's the same sort. It's like people have put that out at picnics that I've been to, and it's like noon, and it's like I didn't realize I was going full ham on a vodka soaked watermelon cube. I thought I was just like having burgers and fruit, and then then I've like taken 3 shots before I realized.
Like I had a friend had a specialty birthday cake made, but the whole birthday cake was a weed cake.
Oh my goodness.
And brought it in and was just like cutting slices like it was a regular birthday cake. And I'm just sitting over there like I'm not like a weed guy, but I am a fat guy, So it's like, give me a couple more pieces of that cake.
And then all of a sudden you want a lot more cake.
Now I'm really hungry. Give me some more cake. And now I don't know my
vicious
name.
cycle. I heard a story of 2 people I know did a weed dinner, and because they were like tasting as they're going along cooking, they were baked by the time the dinner happened, and they were just like, "Hey guys, here you go, enjoy it." Have it, whatever. like they were having trouble doing service.
I feel like if we did a weed dinner, I feel like by the end you would have to be doing cocaine. I
want to get together a Mad Hatter's dinner or something, and so you have like you can do kind of some push and pull there but I imagine it'd be very difficult to do the dosing so that it stays reasonable for a 2 to 3 hour period. Like I think it would be tricky, but I think it would be a lot of fun.
Wait, is it really called a Mad Hatter's dinner?
No, that's just what I would
call it.
What I would call
like a
it.
theme.
Make a whole thing.
Alice in Wonderland dinner.
Exactly.
I would love that. That's one of my favorite. Like
me and Elise have talked about doing it. We should link up.
Are you talking about decorating like the whole place? Like
it would be a whole.
What's that place that you did?
Eat me, drink me.
What was that place that you did for the drama, the scary movie nights? What that place? Healer. So if you had a healer and dressed it all up like Alice in Wonderland, and then you had some food,
that would be really cool.
A big mushroom.
I'm into that.
Everyone has to come in costume.
Yep.
Yes.
That would be really.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You dress up as Alice.
Just make a tiny little door that everyone has to enter.
It keeps getting smaller.
You replace it, and that's how they have to get out.
You can either do that Healer or Jess West's place. We could set that up there too.
Set up a tiny door situation.
Oh, I love that.
That would be awesome.
Who would be the caterpillar? You would be.
I clearly have caterpillar energy.
Are you being you just have a hookah the whole time.
No, are you the caterpillar for real?
Sure.
I didn't know if you're being sarcastic.
I don't know.
You're the cat.
I'm the cat.
You're the
I
cat.
was going to say you're the cat.
Obviously, you're the cat.
Who are you? The Mad Hatter?
I don't know.
Or the rabbit?
You're the rabbit.
I might be the rabbit.
Ooh, the rabbit's a great character.
He's got somewhere to go.
He's got time.
Can you drop a beat for me there, Zach? Josh and Julie, thank you guys so much for being on the program today.
Thank you.
You guys are great hang, very fun, very funny.
Certified.
Certified great hang, yeah. Amazing Gollum impression too.
Wow.
You should hear the others.
I do others. That's a witchcraft for next podcast.
Yes.
Go ahead and tell people where they can find you and follow you on social media. And
we are on Instagram at The Open Fire. And website's coming soon, but right now we're just on Instagram. There's an email on Instagram that you can get to us if you want to do special events, private parties, any sort of catering. Weddings, yeah.
Is there an event coming up that you still have tickets available for?
Yep, we just started selling tickets for our next event, which will be July 20th. It's a Saturday at 7 p.m.
So ribs dinner.
Ribs or walleye, if you'd like to choose.
Yeah, like summer.
It's going to be a summer meat and three.
Yeah.
It's a meat and three.
Oh, nice.
Cast iron mac and cheese.
Braised greens, cornbread.
Cornbread.
This is at Milktooth?
And this will be at Milktooth as well. Yeah.
July 20th.
Yep.
July 20th. Tickets are everything's
They're
in
on
our
sale
Instagram.
right now.
Do the Instagram?
Yeah, link in bio.
All right, get them. Go out there and get them, Harder Brunch Nation. Thaddeus J.
You can find me At Thad Mckee.
You dying?
I was like, oh, this is my time to go, I guess.
in the hospital.
Did you
We're
just
not
crawl
plugged.
out of the pet cemetery?
That is the question. You can find me at Thad Mckee on all platforms. Thank you so much.
Zach Rohn.
If you haven't checked out our Patreon, definitely do so. It's patreon.com/Harder Brunch. Every week we put out a new After Brunch episode. It's only $3 a month.
So good.
Casey Campbell.
You can find me giving CPR to Thad at our Harder Brunch Summer Camp, August 23rd to the 25th. You can also find me at Danger Brewer on Instagram.
At Dyke Michaels across all social media.
Come to summer camp.
Come to adult summer
come to
camp.
Seriously, if you don't, I'm going to kill you.
You know,
I'm allowed to say that.
yeah, legally, I think.
They said that's a good route for us to go for advertising.
If you like,
I missed that day of marketing
This
class.
marketing.
if you like Upland beer as much as me and Thad do, you should definitely come to adult summer camp. We're gonna have, it's all inclusive. You can just drink Upland beer all weekend.
That is true.
We can't even say no.
We're legally not allowed to stop you.
We're legally not allowed to stop you from drinking Upland beer. Thank you guys so much for being with us, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye bye.